Hi, this is Ellie with Spark Your Spirit, and this is your happiness tool for today. Become a happiness detective. This is going to sound insanely simple, but it is incredibly powerful. You want to start paying attention to the things that actually make you happy so that you can invite more of them into your life. And you'd be surprised what bringing that level of consciousness to the game will do for you. So what we'd like you to do this week is to grab a journal or a piece of paper or even a notes file in your phone, because you have your phone with you a lot if you're like most of us, and you want to start just paying attention to those moments that you realize that you're happy. It could be a moment that you giggle. It could be a moment where you just feel this state of flow where time passes and you're not even noticing it because you're so engaged in what you're doing. It could be anything like that. You just want to make a little note of it, because as soon as you note that, you're going to notice like, oh, wait a second, well, maybe there's this pattern here that I could pay attention to. And maybe if taking a walk in the woods makes me happy, well, then what else could I do outside that would make me happy? What is it about nature that makes me happy? Or what is it about this person that makes me happy? And by the way, you're probably also going to notice some things once you bring more consciousness to your days that also make you unhappy, that you could disinvite from your life and not have to do as much of. So you're going to take a journal, you're going to start making notes about the moments of peace, the moments of happiness, the moments in the states of flow. Then at the end of the week, you're going to go back, you're going to look at the patterns, you're going to notice the patterns, you're going to pay attention. Another great thing about becoming a happiness detective is that you're going to actually increase the neural pathways to happiness in your brain. When you have the moment of happiness, that creates a neural pathway. When you take the time to notice that moment of happiness or of peace, that also increases that neural pathway. It's like you're going through the woods, and at first it's just this path and it's just like covered with overgrowth, and you make your way through and you're forming this path to happiness and to that emotion. And then when you notice it, you're like, oh, and then that increases. It starts to clear out that path through the woods, and so it's easier to get to happiness the next time. And then when you bring back the memory later and you notice it, like by the end of the day, we have practices that we put in place where we really go out of our way to remember the happy moments that we had in our days. Then, and you'll learn more about that later, then that also increases that pathway. And so eventually it becomes more like a paved road through the woods that makes it just easier and easier to get to that place. By the way, converse is also true. If you spend a lot of time thinking about the things that make you sad, then you're increasing the neural pathways to that emotion in your brain and making it easier and easier for you to go there and for that to be your pattern instead. So that's an interesting little converse to pay attention to. But the main focus here, become a happiness detective this week, please. Pay attention to what's making you happy. At the end of the week, notice the patterns so that you can invite more of that happiness into your brain. Have an absolutely fantastic week focusing on your happiness, because frankly, nothing is more important and nothing is going to help light up the world more and give more permission for more people to be happy than you taking the time to make sure that you are happy. This is Ellie with Spark Your Spirit.